All right, so we have here another very simple procedure. Basically says, using a screwdriver, remove the bearing bracket snap ring. That wasn't too bad. Remove the bolt, did that. And front drive shaft assembly, right-hand side. So that line item B took me almost 3 hours, maybe 2.5. So this is on a Toyota Solara passenger side CV shaft axle, and basically this carrier bearing is in a housing underneath the car, and in this video he basically pries it and it just pops right off in about 5 seconds. What's strange is this car came from Florida, where you don't typically have a lot of snow and salt, and so you don't typically have that much rust like where I'm from in Detroit. Anyway, here it is. This was the problematic area. It took me, like 2.5 hours or so to move this thing, basically, whatever that distance is, 20 millimeters or so. And the winning combination in the end, although once I figured this out, it still was an absolute pain, was actually a wedge from splitting wood. Basically, I have several pry bars, long, short, right angle, crow's foot, indexable, all the stuff you normally have. Now, in fairness, I'm doing it on the concrete. If you had this up on a hoist, then you could pry from underneath. Of course, in my case, my pry bars hit the ground before that happens. So that is a major limitation when doing heavy duty suspension work. Nonetheless, I would wedge that into one side and then I would air hammer on the other side. Even with that technique, it still took me, once I figured that technique out, it still probably took me a half hour. So it's not like piece of cake, but that's what worked for me. It seems to be you need a lot of pressure, but you need a pressure on not just one side, otherwise you basically, wedge the whole thing. So tension on one side with this, and then a little percussion on the other side, as a famous Canadian YouTuber would say, percussive maintenance. Hope that helps somebody.